What is Bitcoin, and how does it work? Bitcoin is a technology that improves the concept of money and completely surpasses the characteristics of existing systems. Bitcoin is a money technology, the first drastic change since the invention of banking over 900 years ago. Bitcoin's advances are noticeable in money transfer, control, and storage, as well as money supply and issuance. As its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, describes in a document that defines the technology, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer, electronic money system. Every word of this definition is essential. It means that Bitcoin is not just money, bills, coins, or any other instrument for keeping accounts between people, but also the rules and mechanisms by which that money exists and is used. In an analogy, Bitcoin is the dollar, the Federal Reserve, and the banking network, all simultaneously. Second, we are talking about electronic cash, which means that the money, the bills or coins used, are not physical but digital. For example, Bitcoin is created with computers that convert energy into money. This also means that while a physical representation, see Open Dime as an example, of this electronic money can be created, its original form is digital. Finally, we speak of peer-to-peer or peer-to-peer to allude to the fact that Bitcoin has no central authority, no entity in this system is more powerful or has more privileges than another. In Bitcoin, anyone can participate in the system at any level. He can be a simple user of money through accounts, also known as wallets, be a verifier of the system through the node software on his computer, and be an issuer of currency through mining equipment. How does Bitcoin improve money? For the user of money. Until recently, there were only 3 ways to handle money: cash, a bank account, and a PayPal-style company. The first option, cash, is very convenient for the personal payment of small to medium amounts, such as up to 100 bills. It is instant, private, and accessible. However, for more significant quantities, the use of cash becomes cumbersome because of the counting and checking of the bills and the space required. This also affects cash storage, and care must be taken not to damage the statements. Finally, using cash for international transfers is highly impractical. Options 2 and 3, banks and companies like PayPal, solve some of the disadvantages of cash but also bring problems. For saving or transferring money, having an account with these companies is a great help because the user does not have to count or check bills or find a place to store or transport them. This advantage makes it easy to transfer large amounts of money, and international transfers, even though they are slow, take days, and expensive. Apart from the high cost, 2 other problems are of great importance: the lack of control over the money and the privacy of transactions. When using banks or companies like PayPal, the capital, in a way, passes from the owner's possession and becomes the property of these companies. How can this be verified? Simple. Try to transfer your money on a day when these companies are not working, for example, on weekends, or when you need it, and these companies say you can't do it for X reason, such as lack of data or any policy they can invent. Likewise, every move the user makes with their money is registered and audited by these companies, who decide what they can or cannot do with their money, depending on their policies. To make matters worse, the data they record from each transaction of their users are constantly shared with third parties. Data companies to make money or government agencies are common examples. Then comes Bitcoin, the fourth and best way to manage money. This technology combines the best of the past worlds. It allows transactions to be made with the confidentiality and convenience of cash. Because it works digitally, it also offers the ability to store small to large amounts of money and move them from anywhere in the world. Best of all, it costs little. With Bitcoin, you can open a digital account for free and store as much money as you want. If you do it right, the money will always be accessible to you and protected from others' access. Furthermore, once you have your money in your Bitcoin account or wallet, you can transfer it to other Bitcoin accounts around the world 24/7/365, in a matter of moments and at a cost that approaches zero, regardless of where the transaction is sent. These accounts include those of businesses where users can buy goods and services directly with BTC. In short, Bitcoin makes it easier and cheaper to store and move money, with greater security, control, and privacy for the owner and lower costs than any other system. From the issuer's perspective, Bitcoin as a system defines how money is handled and the capital itself, the characteristics of electronic money. Thus, like a central bank, the Bitcoin system determines how many coins it will issue and at what rate, supply expansion, with the difference that it does so regardless of demand. Regardless of whether many or few people want to use it, the Bitcoin system will continue to issue money at the rate agreed upon by users without changing its programming. In contrast, a central bank pretends to be able to assess demand and adjust the money supply accordingly and unsuccessfully tries to keep the value of its currencies stable, for example, that a dollar is always worth a dollar in the market. This is the leading cause of the loss of purchasing power of money in the world because the arbitrary and disproportionate increase in the money supply only leads, in purely arithmetical terms, to money being worth less overall. In other words, a peso can buy a loaf of bread today; tomorrow, after printing, it will only be enough for half a loaf of bread. Bitcoin eliminates this problem by pre-programming supply. Since how new coins are added to the system is fixed from the beginning, the risk of loss of purchasing power due to random and disproportionate printing is eliminated. Under this assumption, the demand for Bitcoins logically and predictably, at least in the long run, affects the price of money and thus the purchasing power of those who hold it. If more people use BTC than before, the price goes up; conversely, if fewer people use it, it goes down. Unlike a central bank, which is privately managed by a few people, even if it is an institution that influences the public, Bitcoin is managed by everyone. Anyone who wants to can work in this system, secure it, manage the accounts, and spend the coins. How does Bitcoin work? From the user's point of view, Bitcoin works like a digital bank account. The user has a history or wallet to which they can deposit money and withdraw, send money to another account. The user uses an account number called a Bitcoin address, which is nothing more than a finite series of alphanumeric characters. In the case of Bitcoin accounts or addresses, the money deposited is not just any currency, but Bitcoins, abbreviation BTC, the native currency of this system. BTC, like any other currency, takes its value from other assets that exist on the market. For example, on Monday, January 24, 2022, 1 Bitcoin was worth $35,000 and 18.25 ounces of gold. Today, it has a different price. It is important to note that unlike the types of money we use in daily life, such as the dollar, the peso, or the euro, whose value is considered stable, that is, a dollar, peso, or euro can buy the same thing today as it will tomorrow or the day after, but not in a year or more. The value of Bitcoin can vary at any time. However, this is not necessarily a problem because a user connected to the internet can know precisely how much Bitcoin they will receive or spend when they pay for something. From a system operator's point of view, Bitcoin consists of a network of computers connected via the internet that perform two main functions: first, to keep the system's shared ledger up to date, synchronized, and in order, and second, to consolidate the transactions made by the system's users and issue new coins. The nodes perform the first task. These are ordinary computers that permanently run the Bitcoin software to store the accounting, synchronize it with other nodes and keep it in order, like opening WhatsApp and keeping up to date by synchronizing messages, taking care to store only those that are in a specific language. The miners perform the second task. These are also computers, but they are specialized to perform a single task with very high performance. In this case, the job is to guess from infinite possibilities. This number will make it possible to compose a group or block of transactions sent by users according to the rules established by the system and confirmed by the nodes. Thousands of these computers worldwide compete, as in a lottery, to be the first to guess this number, called nonce in technical jargon, and thus win the reward for correctly assembling the block of transactions in each round of about 10 minutes. This reward comprises the system's new coins and the fees users pay for submitting their payments. How to get started with Bitcoin? Getting started with Bitcoin is easy. All you need to do is set up a digital account using software, hardware, or a dedicated website and then purchase Bitcoins, BTC, in one of many ways, through another person, at an exchange or bank, at an ATM, or at an exchange office. Each option, for both accounts and purchases, has advantages and disadvantages, whether in terms of cost, convenience, control, or security. The easiest way to get started is through a mobile app for accounts or wallets. The interested party should go to the App Store of his phone, Google Play, App Store, F-Droid, or others, and search for Bitcoin. There you will find a variety of applications, and you can choose the one you like the most.